In my first video, a friend asked what a stop block was, because I had mentioned it in order to set up and get repetitive cuts at the same length. A stop block pretty much is just something at the end that you butt your material up against, and then when you cut it, you know you'll have the same length of cut each time. The way I do it tends to be more, it's kind of a combination between a stop block and a fence, but it's pretty much the same sort of thing. A normal table saw fence glides back and forth along a number line, and then you know how long your cut's going to be. With what I tend to do is use a straight piece of lumber or something else to set up a stationary fence that acts as a stop block. So every time I move the material, butt the material up against it, I get the same cut every time. So I've set up this shot so you can kind of see the whole process. My material is already lined up with the saw blade for the cut that I want. So now I'm going to add a piece of material, or an old 2x6. So make sure that whatever you're using is straight, because you don't want to force the material into the saw blade as you're pushing it. Now I actually need something very wide, which is why I'm using 2x6, because there is a support right here that prevents me from clamping something else. So I need something a little wider than usual in order to get around that. So you just make sure it's square and butt it up against the piece that you're going to cut. Then just clamp it down really well, really tight, and do that on both sides. So now as I cut down this board, each time I'll just move it, butt it up against there, push with the sled, and I'll get the same cut. Now we slide this up against it and make our next cut. There. So now both of those 2x12s are the same length.